Hello and welcome to Moment of Truth on Labour Social. I'm Graham Hughes. Earlier this week, the degenerate robot, Robert Jennevic, made official a plan by the turgid soup of Nazis, that is the Home Office under Cruella Braverman, to hand down life sentences to lawyers for giving advice to refugees on how to stay in the country. Life sentences. That's more than you get for child abuse. And a measure of just what depths the sick, twisted desperation of this perpetual crisis machine that is the Conservative Party is prepared to plumb while running the country into the ground, while the people of the UK are suffering on a scale not seen since World War II. The only thing this government is interested in is demonising refugees and demonising the people who help them. The Tories, ghoulish snot goblins born with a gaping chasm where the heart should be, have made the term do-gooder into an insult in their sick, twisted little minds. The only thing to be in this world is stupid, greedy, insufferable, and a do-badder. These Tories are absolutely obsessed with demonising minorities, which, when you consider that many of the people on the front bench of the Conservative Party, including the Prime Minister, come from minorities, you would think they would know better, but they don't. Refugees are great for the Conservative Party. They get to use them as a weapon of mass distraction whenever necessary. Helps them get out of whatever thoroughly unpleasant omni-shambles is happening from one day to the next. But this idea that we should take people who are trying to help the neediest in society and threaten them with life imprisonment for helping people, it's beneath contempt. Only a fractured and diseased mind could even come up with it. This policy has come about as a result of an investigation done by the Daily Heil, the newspaper that famously supported the British Union of Fascists in the 1930s, and ran stories about how we shouldn't be taking in Jewish refugees from Germany and Austria because it turns out in the 1930s Britain was full when the population was around 45 million. Britain was full, don't you know? The investigation claimed a number of solicitors had agreed to help an undercover journalist posing as an economic migrant to help them submit a false application in exchange for thousands of pounds. Off the back of this not at all sus investigation, the government has leapt into action with a sense of purpose it couldn't quite muster for, the COVID pandemic or the concrete crisis. Here's honest Bob Jennevic explaining what they want to do.
Last month, we announced a Professional Enablers Task Force, which will increase enforcement action against those lawyers and legal representatives who help migrants to abuse the immigration system. Those lawyers found to be coaching migrants on how to remain in the country by fraudulent means will face a sentence of up to life imprisonment.
Now look, I'm not saying that lawyers who break the law should be allowed to get away with it by any means, but the punishment needs to fit the crime. To have the criminals, spivs and gangsters that are the modern Tory party talking about doling out life sentences to people giving advice, even bad advice, while these Tory bastards wallow in the colossal pit of £50 notes they've stolen from the British people and given to their mates as they smugly brag about how they protected the British people during the pandemic when there is a mountain of evidence to the contrary. It's grotesque in the extreme. And if they think a life sentence is appropriate for the crime of giving advice on how to get around a system that the Tories have designed to fail, the crime of advising someone how to screw the system out of, £84.80 a week? I can only imagine what an appropriate sentence would be for, advising a massive Tory donor how to avoid a £45 million tax bill, like what Jenrick did for his old chum, Richard Desmond, back in 2020. There really is no hypocrisy like Tory hypocrisy.